it's that kind of year for the Texans
Yeah.
right now. It's that kind of. I mean, the Texans have been their own worst enemy plenty of times, but the football gods have not really smiled on the Texans all that much this year.
Really like to go over this again. The way you laid it out for how the Texans have to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's I hadn't allowed myself to really think it through. Even though we talked about this last week, now that you're sitting here at 3-5, must win the Jags, Titans, Cards, and Raiders,
Yep.
and then you have to beat at least in these 5 games. You have to win at least 3 of these ones: Bills, Colts, Chiefs, Chargers, and Colts.
Yep. And that's just to get to 10 wins. 10 wins is no guarantee.
You're right.
in
Yeah,
the
it's not a
postseason.
guaranteed. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the chances are like 80-something%, but that's just to get to 10 wins. So yeah, like this week and next week, if you lose either of these games, especially this one, I mean, think about it. You've already lost to the Jags. So if you lose the game this weekend to the Jags, they're 5-3, you're 3-5. You lose this one this weekend, Seth. They're 6-3, you're 3-6, and you don't have the tiebreaker anymore with them. You're 0-2 against them, so you're essentially 4 games back of the second place team in the division if you lose this game this week.
The Texans are still the best scoring defense in the NFL at 15.1 points per game, but the Rams are closing in on them at 15.9 points
Good defense.
per game.
That's 14-9 was the score between those two teams.
Right, and then I'll tell you what, too, the Chiefs are the 3rd scoring defense right now. So of the top 4 scoring defenses, and the Seahawks are 5th. So of the top 5 scoring defenses, you can't play the Texans, obviously. So they've played all of the top 4 scoring defenses.
Who are they again?
Or they will play.
Yeah.
Rams, Chiefs, Broncos, and Seahawks. And then the Colts are 7th right now.
Yeah. Rams.
The Bills are up there, too, and the 49ers. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And the Cardinals.
Yeah, man. The Cardinals, too?
Yes.
Cardinals have played a lot of close games. Cardinals are 3-5 like the Texans are and have lost a ton of close games.
Of the top 12 scoring defenses, you take the Texans out of it, so that's the top 11. So of the 11 scoring defenses that don't include the Texans, the only teams you don't play the Patriots, you don't play the Packers. So they play 9 of the top 11 scoring defenses.
Either
right
have
now.
played or will play.
Yeah.
Man, that's what I'm saying, man. This schedule, it's an unforgiving schedule.
Especially for where the Texans' weaknesses are. If they had those same numbers versus the top scoring offenses, I wouldn't feel as nervous about it.
Nope.
But you're taking this decrepit offense and you're just jam-packed with top 10 defenses.
Yep. So again, to get to 10 wins, they're 3-5. My estimation, you got to win this week, got to win next week against the Jags and the Titans. You have no choice but to be 5-5 going into that Bills game. You also have to beat the Cards and the Raiders in back-to-back weeks at home in December. You have to win those 4 games. That gets you to 7. Now, you laid it out, Seth, here. The other 5 games, if you had to power rank the likelihood of winning in the 5 games, or you've got to go 3-2 in these other games. You got to go 3-2 against the Bills, at the Colts, at the Chiefs, at the Chargers, and then you got the Colts back at home. What do you think? Are the 2 home games the most likely?
This is where, look, the Bills have some flaws, but they don't necessarily match up real well with what the Texans' flaws are. And one of them is that the Bills' run defense is atrocious. But you saw them versus the Chiefs. Hey, Chiefs aren't really a running football team.
Yeah.
But their defensive backs, the Bills were able to really limit the passing game, and then the Chiefs' run game isn't a threat. Texans can't take advantage of that.
No.
Texans don't. They can't. The passing game isn't what you want it to be, and then they can't run the ball consistently. So they can't take advantage of the Bills' weakness. The biggest thing the Texans have going for them against the Bills defensively is the Bills don't have any receivers, so you're going to shut that part of it down.
Yeah, we saw that movie last year.
Yeah, as a runner, and you've got Josh Allen as a runner as well.
Yeah, I think of those 5 games where, and again, you got to win the ones that we just said: Jags, Titans, Cards, Raiders. I would say at the Chargers, I think you beat the Chargers. Just lost Joe Alt for the season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could be a field day going against. And granted, Justin Herbert is athletic, and to Ross's point, Ross Tucker just joined us, said, Justin Herbert started using his legs a whole lot more. He has to because his offensive line is decimated right now. But I would say at the Chargers, winnable. that home game against the Colts to close out the season, the big variable there is the Colts might be resting guys in Week 18.
Yeah.
They might be sitting guys. So I'll say
those last two games being the Chargers and Colts, depending on how the attrition goes with injuries and everything, it's those might feel a lot different when we come to it. And the Colts possibly not playing to win that week.
Right. At the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football, they have no chance. No chance. Sunday night in December in Kansas City. And Kansas City is in a dogfight in their own division right now.
I might have to give you a classic Tom Coughlin keys to victory speech that week.
Yeah.
Where you have you come in on a Saturday morning and over the course of an hour and a half, he lays out the 39 keys to victory.
Oh, yes. I'm here for that.
Like,
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, ready to go, Coach.
Hey,
all we got to do is these 39 things.
I did that thing that we did after the Seattle game a couple weeks ago. We've done it the last couple weeks. Where I went to Texans-Broncos game yesterday and took the mistakes, the glaring mistakes the Texans made, and I put them into the mistake buckets.
Yeah.
Fireable, egregious, and merely annoying.
Mm-hmm.
The only one I have as fireable is the final drive for the Texans on offense. I was shouting it from the press box as the second Davis Mills dropped back to pass on first down and threw a low percentage out route along the sideline to Christian Kirk. What are you doing? You've got to run a play that forces Sean Payton to use his timeouts. You got to keep the ball in play. You're not moving. It's first and 10 at your own 13-yard line. There's a minute 14 to go.
You've punted 5 times.
You've punted 5 times. You'd run 18 plays on the previous 5 drives. You were not getting into field goal range on that drive, or at least you had to play the percentages there.
You got a much better chance if you get a kick, if you get to return the ball in the kick in overtime.
Get to overtime.
Because a lot of people are saying, hey, you still got to try to move the ball in overtime. Right. You got to do it in overtime where you could have good field position because of a return, and or a good play by your defense or whatever. You've got a much better chance of helping this decrepit offense.
That's
out.
exactly right. That's exactly right. D'Amico Ryans was asked about it again yesterday. He's got no regrets.
No regrets. Look, we're trying to get in position and score, right? We tried to throw the ball. We had a couple quick options to throw the football, and then get the clock moving, get our 2-minute drive started. It didn't happen.
This is the thing that infuriates decision making. The whole part about, we wanted to get some quick hitters that would keep the clock moving. Davis, then either Caley called a bad play or Davis Mills made a bad decision, because first down he threw an out route that if it was caught, Christian Kirk was going to go out of bounds.
Right.
It was not a play to the middle of the field or a screen or a handoff or something that was going to keep. That's a fireable offense.
And the important thing
world.
to know is that they easily could have run the clock down to 10 seconds or less if they had just run the ball. And you don't get the first down.
Yep.
And then in overtime, whether you're kicking off or whether you're receiving, you're probably going to be in much better field position as long as. If you kick off, then, hey, you trust your defense.
Yep.
Your defense can get a 3 and out, and you're going to be in better field position than you are right now.
And you're guaranteed the ball now.
Yeah.
At least once.
You'll get at least one crack at it, likely with better field position.
Yes.
And so that part of it, for an offense that just was doing nothing, that's the part where because I see a lot of people making arguments for why it wasn't that egregious or anything. No, because they don't know their team.
No, they don't.
They're not acknowledging it's hope and change and all this stuff that, hey, we'll get it going. We'll look for a spark. Okay, great. Get a spark going with better field position.
It's a little scary. It's honestly D'Amico's view of what this offense is, and I'm saying that by things he says and the way that this team conducts its offense, it's a little Easterby-ish.
It's a little bit that we'll think it into existence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Am I out of line by saying that?
No, but the other part, too, that's driving me insane is everything that Ross was talking about, where even in these short yardage situations, understand how, push the ball carrier.
Yeah.
Do some kind of a pushing action.
Yep.
Some teams will motion a tight end and have him take the snap, and do a version of the tush push. And the Texans, nope, because you should be able to run it in when you've got 1 yard to go.
Yeah.
Because you should be able to.
Yeah.
Man. Live your life by what I should be able to do without recognizing what your weaknesses are.
Yes,
you got some issues. It feels like they're calling the game as if it's 2011.
Yep, no doubt. So that's the only one I had as fireable. By the way, we're gonna be as we do this exercise. We're going to be giving away Texans tickets a little later on this hour. It's Texans Ticket Tuesday, man. You're going to get to sit in the front row. I think they're going to beat Jacksonville this weekend. Here are the ones I had as egregious. We'll rapid fire these. So fireable, the only fireable was D'Amico's decision-making on the last drive of the game for the Texans. I thought it was awful. Egregious, running 4 plays between the tackles on first and goal. I almost put that as fireable as well. But egregious, running the 4 plays between the tackles on first and goal at the 1.
Yeah.
Ariante Ursery's false start on 4th and goal at the 1 would normally be super egregious, except we're not sure if CJ got in the end zone or not. But if he had gotten in the end zone for sure, then that false start would have been an egregious error right there.
But it actually ended up helping out.
Saved them 3 points.
Yeah, it was you slip on a banana peel and land on a feather bed. Yeah.
QB sneak with Davis Mills on first and goal from the 2. Have you rewatched that play?
No, it's the same Jaden Daniels elbow injury. It's so ugly that I don't want to. I don't want to. I cringe through it. I don't like cringe comedy, Sean.
Yeah. Egregious. Henry To'oTo'o completely vacating the left side of the field
on the Knicks scramble.
On the Knicks scramble.
I'm not as It's tough with it. It's one of those things that a running quarterback does to you. I don't know if
it just happens.
If To'oTo'o had stayed at the same level of the quarterback there horizontally, I don't know if he would have been able to make that play because it was just the way the pass protection, everything playing. Like I don't look at the defensive line or Henry To'oTo'o on that as being egregiously bad, but it's something that happens versus guys like Bo Nix.
So that should probably be in the annoying bucket, not the egregious.
I don't know.
Not even in a bucket at all.
I've got a sinus infection. I think it's making me soft.
Okay. Well, here's some of the annoying ones. So we got 1 fireable. We had 3 or 4 egregious. The annoying ones. The sack by Zach Allen on 3rd and 5 on the opening drive. That was the one that I think you described as a black hole collapsing.
Yeah.
Zach Allen, with one arm, pushed Laken Tomlinson into C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
With one arm.
Yeah, like it was a shopping cart that was in front of his car or something. He was like, this is annoying.
Yeah.
I can't believe somebody put this in. Somebody just left this here? They treated him like a shopping cart. Somebody just left this here?
Who put this human here?
Rude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Xavier Hutchinson, these are just the annoying mistakes. Xavier Hutchinson, 2nd and goal at the 1, holding penalty on Nico Collins' shovel sweep.
It was annoying because it didn't matter anyway. You didn't give me the opportunity to get mad at you because it was.
You know what annoyed me about it? It isn't even a Hutchinson thing. It annoyed me that I thought they had a better chance of scoring on 2nd and goal at the 11 than they did 2nd and goal at the 1.
Right.
Yeah. Brutal.
Nico, I was upset in real time watching Nico as he stretched for the goal line on the play that got them down there because it looked like it should have been spotted at the 6-inch line.
100%. They should have challenged it.
Yeah. I don't know. Was that inside? No. Yeah. I don't know. They didn't challenge.
It was early in the second quarter. Yeah. 3rd and 10, late in the half. Wide receiver screen to Nico with Jalen Knoll out on the edge blocking. I'm going to flip that around and get the ball in Knoll's hands and get a bigger body out there blocking instead.
Yeah, and Jalen Knoll, who was out there where would you put Jalen Knoll only being out there for 11 snaps?
You know what? Egregious. You're right. I was just looking at plays in the game, but decisions by the coaching staff. Jalen Knoll played fewer snaps than Daria Gumbawale on offense.
Jalen Knoll and British Brooks had an equal number of snaps.
That's inexcusable. You're right. That's egregious.
Well, but you can't run the fullback dive twice in a row unless British Brooks is out there, Sean.
That's a good point.
How are you to expect to get
Maybe it's annoying.
We can't lead the league in fullback dive attempts without British Brooks being on the field.
That's a fair point.
I don't know if they do lead the league in fullback dive attempts or not, but
they had the most.
Seems like that's what their goal is.
I would guess they had the most in Week 9.
Yeah,
there were a few other ones. We don't need to go through all the annoying ones. Another Hutchinson hold, delay of game on 2nd and 10 at midfield after an incomplete pass. Delay a game. The game. The clock is stopped. And it's just sloppy stuff, man.
That officiating crew is kind of garbage in general. I don't think either side got the lopsided benefit of the doubt.
It was just
they were just really sloppy in a lot of ways.
Yep.
They were missed. There's probably one missed pass interference on the Texans. There was definitely a missed hold that the Broncos did when they grabbed who'd they grab? Anyway,
it was Harrison Bryant.
That's right.
He spun hold him out coming out of the backfield.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, there were a lot of those. The Broncos did a nice job of doing a lot of like off the radar, like tight, being a little grabby. That play, there were a couple other plays I saw people point out on social media. Text message. I think D'Amico is just covering for his guys, talking about when he's, I guess, says these things at press conferences. I think he knows he's testing Caley, like, prove we can do this, and he can't do it.
I don't know.
Like
I think he was calling out the offensive line pretty openly.
Yeah.
I think he's just saying that those guys, you should be able to do that in that situation. No. But the other problem I have with it, too, is, look, the offensive line didn't do a great job, but also that Nick Chubb, British Brooks, those guys are not Joe Mixon. So it's not just the offensive line. It's that you don't have running backs that you're scared of on the goal line right now. And the whole lot, like those are guys between the offensive line and those backs. No, it's not as simple as you lining up against one of the best defenses in the league and jamming it right down their throats.
Yeah, that's kind of. I mean, kind of paid for Breece Hall kind of thing. I'm like, do we feel confident that Breece Hall would get used to the best of his ability?
Well, plus he's
offense?
not a big guy. Like that's not for that specific situation. It's not like Breece Hall is a big hammer.
No. I'm just talking in general.
Right? Yeah. Do we trust? And that's where I think a lot of people are with trading for anybody at all. There are a lot of people that I think right now is like, well, you're going to trade away a draft pick that Nick might spend on an offensive lineman and might actually get a good offensive lineman.
Yeah.
No, it's not, because these things aren't going to fix it. They're not going to be fixed this year.
Yeah.
One even awesome player isn't going to fix a lot of the issues they have on offense.
This is not an offense that needs a finishing touch.
Yeah.
Like this is an off-season project.
I mean, an interior, a center or a guard theoretically could be a big upgrade, but that's always dicey trading for an offensive lineman in the middle of a season and putting him in a new system.
Yep.